похожа, а вода по асфальту рекой. И неясно, похожешь в этот день, не похожешь, почему я веселый такой. А я играю на гармошке у прохожих на виду. К сожалению, день рождения только раз в году. К сожалению, день рождения только раз в году.
Eine Schlüsselerfahrung war für mich,
The critical moment for me was when I went out with the children to the local shopping centre. We were about to go up the stairs to the first floor when I suddenly saw a man come up and kick one of the children, just like a football, down the staircase. I was dumbfounded at the sight. The man approached me and, having recognized me, apologized. I continued on my way with the children, but that was the moment I realized that the children here are all regarded as criminals. Everybody is afraid of them. And the saddest thing of all is that nobody needs them.
Niemand braucht sie. Das ist die schlimmste Erfahrung.
It was during the second year of my stay here that these street children began coming to ask me whether I did not have some spare space where they could stay the night, or whether I could not give them some warm clothing. I remember that day very well. I was ill at the time and couldn't do anything for them. So I asked one of the members of the community to take them to Aunt Lenny's apartment and stay with them overnight. He did so and reported back saying, "Never again." It was then that I thought that if they came and asked again, though it would not be easy, I would go and spend the night with them, because I could not refuse them. And indeed, in a very short time, the children did come again, and I moved in with them, and soon enough there were 16, straight off the streets. Terrible things happened, fights every day, blood splattered over the walls and floor. After a couple of days I began to think about what I should do. I could clearly not live with them for good. I went to the police station, where they asked me for the children's names. They knew all of them, and it turned out they were all common criminals. Are you not afraid of sleeping with them under one roof? After all, they could murder you. The conversation was quite frightening. I answered that I knew and understood that they might kill me. The policeman continued to recount how these children attacked people and how they tried to eke out an existence from what they managed to steal, and that they were only waiting for them to turn 14 and to put them behind bars. I thought to myself that under the circumstances I had nothing to lose. If they were condemned to a jail existence, my looking after them could do no harm. They later told me quite directly that to begin with they had no intention of staying. As it happened, it never even crossed my mind they would stay with us, even after the many days I spent with them. Indeed, I was rather concerned at what would happen to them once I managed to finally get rid of them. That is, until they clearly stated that they wanted to stay.
He seemed strange to begin with. My girlfriends introduced him to me when I was 13 years old. They were already staying with Father Erich. I had never seen a priest before. I joined Father Erich's group in the first apartment on Eternal Flame Street. I can't remember how many of us were there, but I think about 16 people. We slept on the floor. That was better than walking, any time. Better to sleep somewhere warm and clean. Drinking bouts were the norm in my home. My mother would have guests, so I had already been living away from home for about a month. We used to sit around in attics, sometimes at my girlfriend's place. We would roam the streets at night and never go home.
The first thing we did was to find out how they had come to live on the streets and why they had turned up on our doorstep. In 90% of cases, we would send them back home because the children turned out to be guilty rather than the parents. In the remaining cases, the parents were clearly guilty and so responsible for their children leaving home. Homes without electricity or food or water, and all because the parents are alcoholics. Parents that drink do not pay taxes, spend everything on drink, so that there is nothing left to buy food. Parents, totally uncaring about their children's future, leave them no other choice but to go out on the streets. In such cases, the choice was obvious and we had to take them in. But if, for example, the children began to sniff glue, it has to be said that they all did it, drink, smoke, or engage in any other such bad habits. If they went out on the streets, in spite of the good living conditions at home, we would endeavour to send them back to their parents.
Сейчас колодец закрыт, потому что люди, они отрабатываются на улице.
The canal is now closed because people are out earning money on the streets. They're out all day stealing scrap metal somewhere, or robbing passers-by, or looking for drunks. This is the warmest canal, and so surviving the winter down here is easy. Children prepared to live anywhere live in such canals, as well as in blocks, on concrete, on staircases. They quite simply lie down in the stairwell or on doormats, cover themselves with a jacket, and that's that. And that's how they spend their time until 5 in the morning, when, with the first movement of people and vehicles, they go out and beat these people up and rob them of all their belongings, everything. Among them are 5- and 6-year-olds who specialize as pickpockets.
Они щипают по карманам.
We slept in the apartment Aunt Lenny left us. When she died, relatives took everything, except for the carpet on the floor in the big room, that offered some protection from the cold. At the beginning, I brought a few boxes of woolen blankets, which we had received from Germany as humanitarian aid. Just imagine 16 difficult children lying